Okay, first of all, for those that are new, welcome back to my channel. No, for those that are new, my name is Ritumechi, and this channel is dedicated to hair, makeup, and lifestyle. And if that's your thing, please do join the Reisons family by clicking the subscribe button down below. My returning subscribers, thank you so much for clicking on the video once again. So we are here. Initially, I wanted to do a video of just sharing my journey or story or testimony, but homeboy called and we are going to Alberton. He needs to get some stuff for his business. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So I just decided to vlog that before I actually share the testimony part of the video. So yeah, I'm ready. This is my outfit now. I'm going to meet him at the gate because it's kind of urgent. But yeah, let's go to Alberton and just put something on my lips. On the flip side, it's a chicken. Hi family, so I am back home now, and yeah, so I just have an impression in my heart to just share this testimony. I am very nervous about it because it's tied to an area of my life that I'm insecure and ashamed of. But despite all of that, there is evidence of God's hand on my life. Okay, so basically I'm going to tell a story in accordance with a timeline, right? And the theme or the takeaway in my hope is that you see God's goodness, you see his faithfulness, and you see how a lot of times in life as we grow up, we imagine and create, based on our upbringings, of course, we create sort of prerequisites to success, and we are so obsessed with obtaining certain or achieving certain prerequisites because we're tied to the success. We imagine that that you can only achieve success if you obtain A, B, and C. But all of this will make sense as I tell the story. So I matriculated in 2009. I was happy with my results. I got space to study at Rhodes University in 2010. And it was supposed to be a 4-year BCom degree. Basically, I was supposed to graduate in 2013, I believe. Okay, so that is in 2010. I started my journey at Rhodes. I was there for 2 years. Life happened, I guess, and I had to come back to Gauteng. So this is now 2012. So it is 2012, yeah, because 2010 and 2011 I was at Rhodes. 2012 had to come back. I took a 6-month break from school because life happened. 2012 July, I was admitted to now complete my degree through UNISA. Registered. Okay, I was there. I studied with UNISA basically to try to complete my degree from there. But just to cut the long story shorter, if I may say, Let's fast forward now to 2021. So it's 2021. I'm in my third institution, University of Johannesburg, and I still haven't completed my degree yet. I have one module that has been on my neck for quite a while now. So I'm basically on my third institution, a module away from graduating, and it's November. The results are supposed to come out. Okay. This is now, I believe, the 24th or the 25th of November? Somewhere there. I get my results. I failed the module. Immediately, I decide in my heart to take my life because I just felt like I can't keep going. At that time, it had been 12 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it had been 12 years, and I just couldn't take it anymore. It was affecting all the areas of my life where I felt my overall experience of life was not pleasurable. It wasn't worth living. And I immediately decided that it is better for me to just take my life. And so fine, it's the 24th or the 25th of November. The following day, one of my sisters has a Thanksgiving lunch. So at the time, I had already committed to go anyway. So fine, I eventually go, but I was at my lowest of lows emotionally. And so part of the agenda of the day was that we all go around just saying how grateful or what it is that we are grateful for. Truthfully speaking, I wasn't grateful for anything. I wasn't grateful for life. I wasn't grateful for anything, and I just wanted to get out of this life. But knowing the psychology of just by observing myself, I'm no qualified psychologist, but the psychology behind, if I told somebody, the response is to stop you from taking your life, and I know I didn't want that. So I decided also to not tell anyone. And in that moment, so I'm just gonna play the clip of the day after I decided to take my life. I'm mostly grateful for two things. The first one being I have a very supportive family, loving and supportive family, and I'm most grateful for that. So there I was getting emotional because when I said I believe I have a very supportive and loving family. So in my mind, as I was saying those words, I was saying goodbye to them in my mind, and that was what was getting me emotional about it. I get through the day, and now I have to plan how I go about ending my life. And I devised my own plan. On the 5th of December, that's when I start writing my suicide notes. I write to every close relative of mine. And then I got to a point where I'm like, because my family is just so close, I'm also very close with my best friends. The thing with when you are in that state, you are emotionally exhausted, right? So I got to a part where I'm like, I have 10 more people to personalize this to. I didn't have the patience to proceed, so I just wrote just one general to the rest of the people. So after this is the 5th of December, then I still get through to December, because now I have to have opportunity. I have to be in a place where I'll be by myself, and therefore nobody can intercept and ruin my plan or interfere with the outcome that I was hoping for. January 2022 comes. It comes and I am still very low, but I'm just passing through with life. I was just pretending to be okay. I'm very good at pretending, by the way. I'm just pretending to be fine. And I have this, you can say, an inkling to apply for a job, because I was, even the job that I had at the time, it was very junior level. I had gotten it without experience, but because of the qualification that I was studying for, that's how I was able to get the job, based off of that. But I didn't have practical experience in that field. I got it with a basic low salary without experience, but it had gotten to a point where, irrespective of my contribution, I felt like I was underpaid, and I was financially frustrated as well. So I have this inkling. I'm like, okay, this part of my life, this is career, cannot carry on like this. And it's so weird. But anyway, so with my career, I had an inkling to apply for a job outside the country. I applied for a job at a very big UK based tech company, and the job I applied for, it's a lesser level, and they gave me a call about a few days later, still in January, right? They gave me, this is the end of January, maybe the last week of January. They gave me a call a few days later, and they say, we see you have applied for this post, but looking at your CV, we believe you can actually fit this job in finance. Are you interested in that? And I was like, yes. Oh, God is gonna like really redeem me. God has heard my cry. Fine. They sent me a link to go and officially apply for this new post. And I went to apply. I immediately, same day, got an invitation for a Teams interview for the following week. Fine. This would be now the beginning of February. Fine. I think it was the 4th of February that the interview was scheduled for. And fine, I do my preparations, guys. On the 4th, I take leave on that day. In the area that I stayed at the time, load shedding was scheduled exactly the time that my interview was supposed to be. Exactly at that time. So fine, I have a friend who is an electrician, and he had an inverter at his place. So I call him up. I'm like, bruh, I need uninterrupted electricity and internet around this time. Are you available? He says, sure, come through. At first, he offered to come and pick me up, but I was like, no, fine, I'll catch a Uber. You're already doing too much for me. And fine. I caught an Uber and I went to his place. I did the interview. Guys, they asked me this question that I know, like a basic question, like, what are the elements that should be on an invoice, on a tax invoice? Yo, I tatazela ne. Because in my mind, I'm like, this question is too simple. Is this a trick question? I tatazela, and I believe that could have been the question that, made them doubt the decision or whatever. But anyway, so the interview goes great. I still believe I have a chance because, most of the other questions, all the other questions actually I did. Even the guy was like, my friend was like, no man, you did really well. I really hope you get the job, blah, blah, blah. So fine, I waited out. At this point, I'm waiting. The way things just moved quickly, I'm waiting for a response the following day, because everything else was the following day, or even if an activity is not the following day, but they advise you of the activity the following day. And even at the end, they're like, no, okay, should you get the job, we have somebody this side that will organize your accommodation. Everything is set, guys. The salary was set. An apartment, I had already looked for apartments close to the city. They were still working from home. They were going to organize everything. And fine, a week later, They come back, they say, unfortunately, you didn't get the job. We'll still keep your CV in case something that fits your profile comes up. I was shattered. I was shattered. Not another blow where I thought like I can kind of focus on something lighter to delay this plan of mine. So the same week I got that, the weekend, my plan was in motion to take my life. The Saturday came. No, the Friday night came. Friday night came. I attempted my method. I wasn't supposed to wake up on Saturday morning, basically. So I wake up, but I wake up very drowsy and hazy and not really like I was conscious. I was mentally sharp, but my body was just very, not weak, hazy, man. It wasn't even weak. It was like I felt like I was sleepy type of, like I just needed to just lay in bed. So I slept the entire day, basically on Saturday, and Sunday came. Also, I was sleeping. By Monday, I was sharp. My tongue was just yellow, but I was able to carry on with life. Now, I had failed. My attempt had failed, and obviously, it's not what I want. But now, for me to plan another attempt, that should take time and stuff. And I was glad I didn't tell anyone, so nobody would just gog and kind of like monitor me to a point where I wouldn't be able to find another opportunity. So I was glad. I'm like, okay, I'll try again when I have the resources to, try another method or whatever. Fine. So this is February 2020. Just remember this date, February 2022. Okay, I failed. I'm still not a graduate. I just decided to reapply for the module. I still am underpaid. But now I'm also looking for another job in South Africa now. Like my hopes and dreams. I was actually obsessed with the same company and applying for other jobs in that same company, the UK, because I really wanted to eat. Fine. So I applied there and there's nothing. There's no feedback now, right? And then eventually I was like, okay, let me just apply for the post here in South Africa. Then I started applying. I think this is now March, April-ish. I started applying. And I was applying for so many, I don't even remember, But anyway, in May, I get a call. We saw your application. Are you interested? How much are you earning? I tell them, they're like, okay, I'm going to send you a CV. I was called by a recruitment agency. I applied go Peanuts. The other one I was applying for LinkedIn. The Europe ones I was applying for LinkedIn. She calls again and is like, oh, yay, you're through. You are my strongest candidate because you have a balance of the two fields that they were looking for at the time. Long story short, I get the job. And I serve my notice in June. I'm meant to start in July 2022. And then fine, time goes, the job I'm enjoying. It's a same field, but it was extended in terms of like the scope of work. It was extended to so I was stretching my skills, you would say. And but I felt still unsettled, man. I felt very unsettled in my spirit, and I was trying to pray it away. Some days were better than others, but the constant theme in my mind was, I guess it was good in a sense that it was now distracting me. The anxiety was more than the depression, you would say. And as a result, it was just, okay, how can I manage this anxiety? And it took off my focus to, okay, when am I trying to take my life again, right? And rest. My soul was not rested because of that anxiety, But anyway, so remember I started in July, right? So in August, I get a call from a company that I applied for in 2020, and they're calling saying, bruh, there's a job opening, are you interested? And I was like, nah, guys. I just started a job, let me think about it, give me a week. They called me again in November. So in August, I wasn't feeling this anxiety, right? But in November, the anxiety had like brewed in me, and it was unsettling my soul, and I just wasn't at peace, man. They said, are you interested? I'm like, okay, let's do this. I don't even interview that time because I was already interviewed in 2020. I just have a coffee session with the management of the team I was going to be in, and by December they were offering me a new job. So now imagine I got 2 jobs in 6 months. This is God, right? This is God. And then around that same time, I was staying with family at the time, but I also felt like I wanted to get my own place. I want to be by my own. It's time. And yeah, so I was in the process of trying to get my own place. So I say all of this, right? So I think when I got the job in December, just highlighting what I would like the takeaway of this video to be, that I was so disappointed in not graduating when I wanted to graduate, or not having this qualification. And this is my journey. It's not everybody else's story. And this video really is for people that have that one thing that they desire, right? And they can't seem to let that desire go, and they've been desiring this thing for a very long time, and it's just not manifesting. So this video is for people that have something like that in their lives, and for me, it just so happens it is my qualification, right? That was supposed to be 4 years. I then, after getting that job, the gratitude and the realization of God's hand in my life was that here I am, where I believed that the only way God can bless me with a job was if I have this qualification, right? So I'm praying that as you're listening to this, whatever it is in your life that is similar to my journey in this regard, that God brings it into your mind right now, so you know exactly, right? That I was saying, God, for me to succeed in this life that you have given me, I need to have this qualification. But in 6 months, he gave me 2 jobs without this qualification. And yes, I also want to just add that there is some sort of, like in my CV, I still put it as an in progress, and it could have been factored when companies are deciding whether or not they would hire me. Like if I have 98 or 99% of the modules already passed and just one module outstanding, you know, they might consider you. But also, this is South Africa, who isn't qualified. How many graduates don't have jobs? So just understanding and realizing how God really proved that he doesn't need what I thought he needed to bless me. He blessed me regardless, and it just speaks to his goodness, his grace. It just speaks to how he is not of this world. He doesn't, and it's the system of the world. You have better chances of getting a job if you're qualified. We know this. We see it with our communities. In our communities, it just increases your chances, and that's just what it is. I do believe it's going to happen. I do believe he gave me the promise of it manifesting eventually. But as I'm waiting for it, it's not stopped. He's not saying you're not going to be blessed without it. He said it's just not the time. And guys, I've tried everything. Like, tutors. I've tried anything you can think of. I have tried, and it just has like, and there's just also like a lot of hindrance. You guys, I like there's a. I mean, if even if you can think about it, it's 2023 now. I still don't have the qualification. So if you count from 2010 to 2023, 14 years, how could I, like, everything one can try in 14 years, I have tried. Different tutors, the tutors that are provided by the institution, external tutors, or everything, everything within my capacity that I could try, I tried. Now this is December 2022, right? I get the job, you got the job, hooray. I put in my resignation, I served my notice in January 2023. This is the beginning of this year. And February, no, same month actually, January, the last week of January, that's when I shared the video of moving into my own place. February, when I was shattered, when I didn't get the Europe job last year. But just looking to how God accelerated my life in 1 year. I say this to say that in 1 year, He gave me, I love my job. I am more relaxed in my job, at my job. I am very happy, settled. It is very, very a miracle to me by all accounts that in 1 year, last year, in February, I had attempted to take my life. Okay, so that's the day. So the week after they told me I didn't get the Euro job, I attempted to take my life, right? And now a year later, God blessed me with the job that I really love. God blessed me with my own place. God blessed me with a car, and all in 1 year. So I just felt in my spirit to just share this journey, share my testimony, and I still have other struggles. And thankfully, I know, I've had in between the time that I really wanted to take my life. And now God has given me so many promises. I no longer am depressed, in spite of the struggles that I do face. And I do face quite stressful situations. But just, I think this is also a reminder for me that if He did this, it's only something God can do. Like, so if He has, it's a reminder for me, last year this time, I was in the opposite mental state. I was in the opposite financially. I was in the opposite just in terms of goals and where I was. But now I am where I am now. I just have to thank Him and give Him a moment. And and I hope that with this, it encourages some of you. It reminds some of you of, His hand has blessed you irrespective of that one thing that you really want. And knowing that He's already promised us that He will manifest it, that in our waiting time, He gives us the peace and patience to wait. But I have a feeling it's very near. Like I believe that at the right time, and I believe soon, that thing will manifest. I believe so. I believe so deep in my spirit that it will manifest. I want to say this year still. So, but yeah, thank you so much for giving me your time. I really hope that this was an encounter with God in your life. I hope that Christ is there just whispering and showing you exactly the area that you feel like He has forsaken you in, and that He heals the shame, He heals the insecurity to prepare you to experience the manifestation with healed, with a healed heart. And yeah, so that is it for me today. I thank you so much. I know this might be a very long video, but I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. I love you and be blessed. Happy Sunday.